Welcome into the Modelo Blue-White Player Show here at the Penn State Golf Course. As always, joined by Keith Goon-Conlon. How you doing, brother?
That's the energy I need, man.
Yeah.
10. That's the energy we need right there, baby.
You know, we're all about show business. We got to turn it on. I came in a little sleepy, got up off the couch after a little nap.
Yeah.
And was planning on maybe getting a workout in.
I got you a little fired up with a couple comments.
You did.
I said what? I said, wow, it felt pretty good to be into a game Sunday. I mean, that late into a game, feeling like into it. We could talk about football.
I know.
Football show. We could talk about football. And me and you both perked up like, wow, let's talk some football.
Yeah, it was exciting.
God.
So close to a field rush. I told you that Bukanani, our friend, he told me everybody started kind of to crowd they're not fences, basically, you know, the bottom rows essentially to get ready to possibly rush the field. But unfortunately,
disappointing. My goodness gracious, this season. You know, that fourth quarter or that last drive was the microcosm of the whole season. It just felt like, you know, it was like we got to make a couple stops here. So we have 6 losses.
Right.
And in 6 losses, our defense could have stepped up once or twice and changed the outcomes of those games.
I want to say
5 of the 6.
I want to say, yeah, I was going to say, I think Ohio State's the only game where the defense didn't need to get one stop. And, you know, the other 5 games, we just couldn't get one stop.
Yep.
Yeah, it's frustrating to watch that. And I think you're right. It's a microcosm of this year, the past, 8-9 years, where it's just those big games where we are just so close. And it feels like the other team just makes one more play than us.
And that's weird. And that's very odd for me because I'm not going to sit there and be the old school guy and this and that, but it was just like that was the games that we used to flourish in.
That's what Mike the Mailman told me.
Like, we used to just like, I know that people are going to say, well, Joe, the last 20 years and this and that. But yeah, I guess, but football's changed a whole bunch. You know, we could talk about this. Would Joe succeed in this era?
I don't know. That's interesting. Obviously, I never knew him. I feel like he would find a way, and he was always. It sounds like he was always very forward-thinking. You know,
he was.
You know, always wanted to get the players as much money as possible, and he wanted the playoffs a long, long time ago. And so I don't know.
He was vocal about it. Where most of the guys, see, you remember now, we were independent. So, like, you know, Bear Bryant had the SEC, and the Big 8 was in Oklahoma and Nebraska. And the Big Ten was the Big Ten. The Big Ten didn't do anything until 1994. Think about that. 1968 was the last time there was an undefeated Big Ten team until we got in there in 1994. So the Big Ten had just been eating itself in a cycle for 30 years. The SEC, and then you had the independents. You had Notre Dame, you had Miami, you had Florida State. And once we all started joining conferences and stuff like that. So you asked me that about yesterday. Why did we join a conference? And I'm going to tell you, I know it was. It was for not for football. It was for all the other sports.
That makes sense.
To be recognized in the conference with a lot of money, with a lot of scholarship and a lot of television deals and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, because the other sports, I think if you stayed independent, that's why, like Notre Dame football is independent, but a lot of the other sports are either ACC or I think are some of them Big Ten. Yeah, they're Big Ten ACC. Yeah.
They're in the Big Ten hockey, and they're not in the that's the only one because I think they should be in the Big Ten for lacrosse, but they're not. I believe they're still playing the ACC for that, which is obviously the best conference in the for lacrosse. So, yeah, you know that Joe, you know, joining the Big Ten was the big thing for Penn State because of all the other sports. I mean, I know the story that Russ Rose said he went from 6 scholarships to 10 scholarships. And a big old pay raise because you had to have a certain amount of money. You had to pay your coaches in the Big Ten. So he goes, I got a pay raise and I got more scholarships. So, and that was just for women's volleyball. So you figure out all the other sports that went on and then flourished from it. So that's what you just asked me yesterday. That's what maybe had me thinking. So, but like, would Joe flourish or Joe? Yes, you are right. You have listened to me. You have listened to other people say that Joe would do anything in his realm of power to get us money legally.
Right.
So the NIL, he would have had the coffers full. I guarantee you that. I don't think he'd have been happy giving the players that much money and then just like stacking the money up front and saying, okay, please finish this year for us and please give us all you got. You know, Yeah, and I don't know. I really don't know. But, I mean, this past weekend was just great to get back to. I mean, I just think there was no expectations for this past weekend. And then as the game wore on, it was like, okay, we had a big comeback, take the lead. It's like, all right, we got this. And then, boom, poof, it goes away again.
It's just – but to answer your question, I mean, I think Joe would have started to struggle when he's giving 17-year-olds $2.5 million. I think he would have started to have some issues there, would be my guess. And
Joe
that's
would
why
be more worried about the kid's GPA than his grade point average rather than his $2-point-some million.
and the majority of guys, I think Joe would have struggled. If Joe would have known what World Campus is, he would have really – World Campus is the online school, and now most athletes can just take like all World Campus classes, and so you're not even. I mean, we heard Drew Aller say it earlier this year. He's like, "Yeah, look, I'm in Lash every day from 6:30 to 8 p.m., 6:30 in the morning to 8 p.m. at night," and it's like
that sounds like an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, and that's part of it of being here is you're supposed to be entrenched in the community and going to class and meeting other people that aren't. And even when I was playing, and I still went to class. It still was weird. Like nowadays, people aren't friends with just other people. I don't know if that's like social media. I don't know what it is. And as far as football players, it's like you kind of just
social media gives you some kind of hesitancy to open yourself up to outsiders,
right? Because
I'll give you guys that much credit.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it. How at least Kerry Collins and Kajana Carter, they could walk down the street back in the day when they were here, and they'd get recognized that it was what it was. But they probably went downtown. I don't think like Drew Aller.
Yeah, we went downtown.
We went downtown. He went downtown. Very rarely do I think ever like Nick Singleton and Drew Aller just like mosey on downtown because they know then they're on 5, 10, 15 Snapchat stories and they're on Instagram and oh look, Drew Aller's buying a sandwich at McClanahan's and it's like God, what a crappy life to live. I know you make millions and millions of dollars, but we've talked about it. You've posed that question many a times. Would you trade off the what was the verbiage you used? The word. Basically, I don't know the freedom to not have a camera on you.
Have the anonymity.
Anonymity. That was it.
See
Still don't even know.
Dude?
I'm using my inferring skills to figure out what that word meant, but I think I got it.
Would you rather not be recognized, or just go out and not be recognized and just go out and hang out, have a good time with your buddies and your girlfriends and stuff like that? Or would you want the social media and then getting paid and stuff like that? And the question is I have posed to you a million times is everybody I talk to, and it's hilarious. I mean, I was out at Ohio State last week, talked to some guys that I had, played against for 4 years from Ohio State. And we were just laughing like, bro, we'd all be in prison. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, yeah, but yes, you guys don't have that crazy bone in you. You do, I guess, but it's like we had it. We had crazy guys on the team who did crazy stuff in this and that because we were immature punks, but it wasn't, we weren't getting in trouble for it. If you got caught, you got in trouble, but not like it's going to be somebody on social media like 5 days later bringing this up. But I got a question. Saquon Barkley was out a lot when he was a student here.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I will say,
has it gotten worse since then?
I don't think we've realized like how quickly social media has risen in that sense. Like when Barkley was here, like 2015, 2016, like yeah, like Instagram and Twitter was big, but like I don't think it is what it is now. Like people truly live on their social medias and on their phones. Like I think we were starting to get there, but in 2016, I don't feel like it was like all the way there yet. People would still get recorded and stuff and that type of thing, but yeah, I think it was a little bit different. I feel like
was it an invasion of? It's like maybe there was still respect there.
Yeah, I think there was.
It wasn't like get the camera out of my face. Where now it's like, no, well, it's my right. I have the right to keep my camera on your face. You know
I think naturally, like if you were like out at a party or something, and let's say it's like 2015, 2016 with Saquon Barkley, be like, oh, here's there's Saquon. Look at that's awesome. And now it's like, oh, there's Saquon. Oh my God, let me get this on video right now.
I need a picture. Get a picture.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's fine because the guys did that back in the day too. Can I get a picture? Get a selfie with Kerry, Kijana, Kyle, all those guys, Bobby Ingram.
Did selfies exist then?
But you had to get it developed.
Oh, that's a caveat.
See, that's a weird one for you right there.
Yeah, I don't know.
So we would take a camera. We would do crazy stuff, and they go to a place to give it to a guy, a person, but we have no idea who they are, and they're looking at all of our pictures. And then then you come back a week later and he's looking at you like, oh, that's your party, huh? Woo, boy.
That one, I give these photos over to the cops and you're done.
Well, that was the right of you. You didn't have to worry about that.
Oh my gosh, yeah, just it's such a different time.
So the anonymity of being not recognized, having a good time with your buddies, girlfriends, all of this stuff downtown, or having to be recognized, having to be filmed, all of this stuff, but you're getting paid big time dollars.
You know, I'll be a big time left tackle. That's what I'll go with. Because
it's okay because we don't get.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going to be a big time offensive lineman now because being an offensive lineman, even if you're great, it's just perfect. You get recognized just enough where it's like kind of cool, but you're not getting like just mobbed, and you're not. Generally, people aren't going to be like taking videos of an offensive lineman. It's like, oh, there's an offensive lineman eating a sandwich. That's cool, and there's no like that's how I felt. Because even like we would do offensive lineman, dinners and stuff. We'd go to Roadhouse, and it's me, Dawkins, Fashanu. We're all like 6'6", and so obviously people are looking at us, and it's kind of like, oh my god, like those guys have to be offensive linemen or some types of ball players, but they don't know who we are. So it's kind of like, oh look, big guys, and then you go back. But once again, if it's Drew Aller, Nick Singleton, and Katron Allen sitting at a table, it's very different. So that's why I think there it is. There's your lesson, kids. Become an offensive lineman so you don't get recognized too much.
The only time we get recognized is when we screw up.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's our job.
It is. It is.
When things are going well, they kiss your butt. But when things are going bad, they blame the offensive line or they blame the running back and quarterbacks. But I mean, there's been a lot of blame to go around this year.
Yeah. Yeah, that can happen. Real quick, I don't know why this is popping in my head, people that don't get a lot of recognition. I was thinking about punters for a second. I don't know if you saw this.
Why?
Yeah, I know you don't like punters at all.
Kickers, dude.
I know.
Go ahead.
Listen to this, though.
Go ahead.
I'm 99% sure. I think it was Wisconsin. I'm almost certain. Yeah, it was Wisconsin. Wisconsin beat Washington. Washington was ranked. I think they were 24, 23. With their punter as the leading yard thrower.
Rusher or passer?
Passer. Sorry, that's the word I was looking for. As I said, it was a long day.
They ran a fake punt and he had like an 80-yard touchdown?
No, it wasn't. No. It was like 25 yards. He had like 25 yards passing. And he had the most passing yards for anybody for Wisconsin. They won. Imagine winning and your punter's your leading passer. That's amazing. Sorry, I had to throw that out there because I know we're an anti-specialist show here.
Not anti-specialist.
All right, long snappers. Long snappers can be here. But punters and kickers.
No. Are the are the snappers O linemen or D linemen? Do they have other jobs or do they just snap?
Just snap. I think it didn't used to be that way. Snappers used to be like it was like, all right, which offensive lineman can snap, right? Like back
me.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Me and my little brother did it for me. Me and Puppy did it for 3 years, 95, 6, and 7.
Wow. See, that's crazy.
Short snapping.
Yeah, like back in the day, there wasn't that much respect for specialists. It was kind of like I'm watching the
scholarships.
Yeah, I'm watching the Illinois game '94. We've talked about it a million times. The lights going out, pizza before the game, all that good stuff. And I'm rewatching it one morning because I'm bored. I see it the full game popped up on my YouTube, and I was like, "Well, I've heard about this game enough. Let me watch it and see the drive." Well, leading up to the drive, I hear, Penn State's back to punt. Joe Jaravicious. And I'm like, what? I'm like, so our wide receiver was our punter? Like, when?
We had 2 punters that year.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what the difference was. I mean, one was we needed a really long booming kick versus Daryl Kenyon was the second kick, was the other punter. But yeah, Joe definitely came in there and did some punting for us. Well, I think we only punted like 30 times the whole season.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of punts out of that offense. Once again, I saw, Kajana looks like he can still take off. I've never actually seen someone with as big of a middle as Kajana Carter. It's like a refrigerator on him. Not in a way that he's actually, shout out Kajana Carter. He's actually lost some weight. He's looking real trim. I just saw him last weekend. But just like, God, some of these guys, we were talking about Kyle Brady, Joe Jaravicious. I mean, I think guys were just built differently.
I got another one for you. Curtis Enos.
Curtis Enos, yeah. Never seen him in person.
Built like a linebacker, dude.
What years was he here?
He was here
3
years after me.
Oh, okay. So he was late 90s.
Yep. Mid to late. So he got there 95 would have been his freshman year. So 95, 6, 7, and 8. Well, actually 97.
Yeah. Before I was born, correct.
Yeah, before you were born, yeah. '97, he was suspended from a bowl game. Him and Jerry Vicious both got suspended from a bowl game. So
nice.
yeah,
That was it. See, once again, I don't know. Joe not letting guys play because they're not going to test and things like that. I don't. It's a much that would not really happen now.
Joe had not fulfilled his schooling, and Joe said, "You're out. You're done."
Oh,
he suspended them for grades. And Curtis was suspended for taking a $200 or $300 suit from a sports agent to go to the Heisman Trophy and then all the trophy circuit.
wow.
Like that's just how bad it was. It was like we didn't have anything. Like if like Kerry Collins was going to go on or Kejana Carter were going to go on to this little Heisman Maxwell, like they have a name for them. Like the luncheon, like tours and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
The Maxwell Award, the Heisman and all that stuff. Then they go down to Orlando, have the Lombardi, the Outland, all these different trophies. So they would go on these. KC be going for 3 straight weeks in December. Like they would be on that circuit and stuff like that. So that's like, who's paying for their outfits, their clothing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
See, there was stuff that was here. If you there was Pell Grants for guys who couldn't afford them, but then that got abused, and then they had to get rid of the Pell Grants. And then after the Pell Grants, there was actually a fund set up for the team that you could apply and for like clothing and stuff like that. So like say, I know, I mean, this is a weird one, but say you were from down south. Like Bobby Ingram's father died when we were in camp our freshman year. He died in a car accident. So how does Bobby get from Penn State back down to South Carolina? We didn't have the money to afford to pay for an airfare type of thing. Yeah. So he almost had to go. So there was always funds set aside for that type of thing, but you had to be, had to apply for it all. It was just crazy stuff and stupid stuff. But, Curtis didn't play his junior year bowl game. And then he, had to go into the draft because he accepted what would be considered improper benefit from a sports agent. He got a suit to wear to all these different dinners to accept awards. So this is how far we've come. Now we go from a guy getting suspended and kicked out of college for not having a suit to guys being able to buy the whole Taylor, the whole store.
Yeah. Oh, someone can go down to
Harper's
right now, and they can buy that thing out. There's no issue. As
long as they have 4X tall, I mean, we'll be all right.
Well, now Harper's actually, for the guys that go to like Big Ten Media Day, they completely fit them up and get them all suited up. Yeah, I mean, for free, all that good stuff.
Is that part of their donation towards like the NIL stuff?
Yeah,
I mean, that's great. You trade.
Yep.
You're trading. You're just not giving people something.
Right.
Which is fine. Whatever it is, what it is. I'm coming to the conclusion that's all good. And this is the world we live in, and we can't do anything about it.
Yeah, I remember when it started. No, I won't. We're not putting. Actually, this business doesn't exist, so I still won't say. I remember when I first got here, and all that stuff was still legal. NIL still wasn't a thing, and there was one place that would just give us some free food, and it was the greatest thing ever. I was so happy. I would go there and order just so much stuff. But yeah, like I said, they're not even around anymore, so it's okay. Did you guys get? Honestly, here we are. 30 years later. Did you ever get any?
Sure.
Free food? Was there any place downtown? Can we give them a shout out? Anybody? Help out the crew a little bit.
Help us out. They weren't giving us anything.
Well, no free food, no free drink. Yeah.
So that was their thing. I mean, now it's like, why am I buying a millionaire a drink?
Yeah, that is kind of the whole thing.
Why am I giving a millionaire a free drink? It's like,
I think we're addressing the whole. Just people are having issue with wanting to donate to NIL now. When they see every single guy, you go into the last football parking lot and every guy's driving a car that's
about this.
Worth over $50K at minimum.
I would be upset if I'm going to a thing where people are asking me to donate money and stuff like that, and the person that shows up I'm donating money to has more money than me, a bigger, better car, dresses better than me, and has got a lot more money in his bank account. And I'm like, you're going to pilfer me?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like.
My favorite, he's a very much a rich man. He'll eventually be one of the highest paid defensive players in all of the NFL. But I'll never forget Abdul Carter, and he was wearing – it was like a Louis Vuitton jacket, Louis Vuitton shades, and something else Louis Vuitton. And I'm just looking at it. I'm like, imagine being a donor looking at that. I'm like, that's hard for me to want to say, all right, I'm going to give,
I want to give you $500,000. Yeah, I want to buy you a whole new outfit.
A whole new Louis Vuitton outfit. That's what that's
I'm
my
with you. I
goal.
mean, it's just tough to even think about like that because it's a true story. And if guys show up, I mean, what about guys who I don't know? You tell me. Has this happened? Are guys disrespectful to donors and stuff like that?
No.
I
Guys
mean,
are
it's
great. Guys are
definitely
great. But no, I just think naturally, guys nowadays, it used to be, I remember when I first got here, if we had anything nice to go to, it was like our player personnel people are like opening up the closet and they're like, all right, see if you can grab, any suit or anything like that. And nowadays it's like, all right, guys, wear something nice. And they don't have to do that. They go and get their designer, clothing that's worth thousands, maybe $10,000s, and they're putting that on. And it's like, well, maybe that's not the best idea. But that's the difference. Like so quickly it has changed. Like I remember that. I remember being like, we had the business night where they up in Beaver Stadium and they'd invite 50 different businesses to come in.
I wonder
You've
who
talked
started
about
that.
Yeah, that was some guy came up
I
with that.
wonder who started that idea.
Someone. A lot of good ideas coming out of that big noggin there.
Yeah,
Grant.
right.
But I remember everybody was like, it was like a mad scramble. They're like, all right, guys, you got to wear like business attire.
Yeah, and you had to dress respectful.
Yeah, it was like early 2021. And in 2021, July 1st, 2021 was when NIL became officially legal, but didn't really start until like 2022 and on. But it was like spring of 2021, and guys are like, I don't have nice clothes. I mean, we at that time, we'd get like a $2,000 stipend a month, which is definitely more than you guys got, but it wasn't even anything close to what guys are making now. I mean, you compare me in 2021 early compared to what you got was a lot closer than me in 2021 to what the guys are getting now.
Did you say you get a $2,000 stipend?
You would. It was about $2,400 actually.
A month. 12 months a year.
12 months a year. Well, sometimes I remember this is prior to NIL. So well, actually, you still get it.
You people are watching my reaction to this at the exact same time. I'm learning of this incident, this stuff. Well, that's great. I mean, again, I have to say this out loud. I am all for this. I am happy as hell that we're finally getting something. But it's just like, okay, we went from we're here, we're just gonna pin it the whole other way.
Yeah,
it's like every other thing the NCAA does. It's like let's do this in some moderation. Let's keep this under control and work our way up to that. Now we're just gonna pin it as fast as we can and see what happens.
Well, I told you on our Sunday show, there is now, it depends where your university is located, but I think there's about 30 out of the 50 states allow, if you're a college in one of those 30 states that it's the legislator allows it. You can pay high school players that are committed to you to keep them committed. So you can say, hey, Landon, I'm going to give you $10,000 a month for these next 6 months until you get here just to stay committed. Can you imagine? Let's put aside making millions of dollars in college, even having tens of thousands of dollars in high school.
No.
Oh, my God. That would be I would go so south so quick. Can you imagine going it's one of your last high school parties and it's like, oh, guys, it's all right. I got it. I'm going to handle everything. And you're just coming
That's my problem is that I would do that. And I'd be in debt within a month. I'd owe $2,000 out. That's just how I am. Do you think that has anything to do with the team? I mean, our guys are getting paid. Do you think they're not hungry anymore?
I think it can happen. I mean, I've brought it up. I've brought that point up, and then I've even brought up the counterpoint myself that everybody's doing it. So, but also now you're looking around college football and there are some teams that were supposed to be really good and kind of collapsed, and guys that are getting, and just ultimately, it's great for guys to get paid a lot more money, but they know what comes with, they feel more pressure just naturally. Like as much as, they feel good making that money. When you get paid $1 million, you feel a lot more pressure to perform. At least I'd hope I would.
With the money in the bank?
Yes, the money is already in the bank.
You go back and just say, that's human nature. It's like, okay, well, now human nature also says, okay, well, I got $1 million there. Let's go. How do I get my next $1 million? That's how you have to think. See, again, I go back to what I have always said about. I mean, me and Booch have talked about this. Chris Buchinani, who we talk about, and that is that what other profession are given like, okay, we're going to give you this because we think you're going to do this. Why not say that to Drew Aller? Say, okay, so they're giving you $4.1 million. I think the number I heard on some kind of social media thing where he was one of the top 10 highest paid players. And so he's getting $4.1 million. What about you say, okay, we're going to give you $500,000. We'll give you $500,000 more for each win. We'll give you $500,000 for each 1,000 yards you throw for. Or K-Tron, we'll give you $500,000 for each 1,000 yards you run for. You make 50 catches this year, we'll give you another 500. All incentive-based stuff.
They should make that change, but technically that's
can't do
illegal
that.
right
It's
now.
illegal,
Yeah,
yes.
it's pay for play.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think we need to get to that world. I think that would make the most sense.
But
Eh,
the more I'm sorry to cut you off, but and the NFL is paid like it. They have incentive, but they're also paid very well before that.
yeah.
So are we going to get to that where it's more incentive laden for these college kids and for the NIL?
Yeah, I think we have to. I would love. This is never going to happen because they would just get the NCAA would get sued. But I'd love to put some cap where like the most you can pay a freshman is like $500,000 for their first year, no matter what, because it would equalize recruiting. Because if that's the most, you're not getting Bryce Underwood, Michigan's quarterback, that's making he signed basically a deal for whatever $12 million over 3 years. You knock that out and you say, okay, you're going to pay him $500,000 at the most their first year, and it levels everything, and you're not giving an 18-year-old $3 million.
But in the same breath, what if I say you have a $10 million salary cap for your team? If you want to put $8 million of that 10 to that quarterback, you go right ahead. That's on you. That's not sound, but it's on you. That's on the coach and on the university. See, I mean, to get this under control would be nice to have it under control with a salary cap, but then it gets back to then we're going to start paying guys under the table again.
Yeah, it's always going to come back.
Which is what was going on before. We tried to stop by saying we're going to legalize it now. But it is pretty funny that the last 2 national championships came from non-SEC schools when all of a sudden we're allowed to pay, and then the the playing field is leveled. All of a sudden,
I don't think it's a coincidence. The SEC is known how to slip guys some money for a while.
True.
I've told this. I went to Georgia, and I'm not putting anybody out there. I'm not nothing official. But
I said Georgia.
I went to Georgia in 2017, and I worked out. I remember working out for Kirby Smart. It was really cool. And
you were working out?
Yeah, you're allowed to do like a workout for like the coach to like see you. Yeah, you can do that.
That's
now.
new too. Then that was completely illegal for. You couldn't even do heights and weights and stuff like that back in the day.
I wish it was. No, not like I had to put on cleats. Like they gave me Georgia personal workout. Actually, they had these 2 guys that they flew from somewhere in Europe, and I was doing like one-on-ones with these
Franz.
Yes, Hans and Franz. Yeah.
What the hell?
I swear to God, and they looked like
Landon. Yeah. We are here to pump you up.
It was that.
All right, dude. What let's rewind here. They brought in 2 European dudes to do what?
They were working them out to see if they wanted to offer them, and I was there at the same time.
You out? I was like, what do these guys know about football?
They just have them on the side, just like
I'm Dr. Franz.
I see the way I posted it. You're like they flew in European guys to like test you.
I was like, what do the Europeans know about? We know. Like, okay, now I get it now. But what the hell, man?
Yeah. So by the way, I think that's NBA now. Like all the top 5 picks are always like European or from somewhere else. I think that's eventually going to happen to the football. It's going to take longer because basketball is just so much more international.
Yeah.
But I think we're starting to see like how much more talent there is outside of the United States. Sorry, I had to put that out there.
Answer?
Yeah, what's that?
Because they're hungrier.
Yeah, they're hungrier. Yeah.
Like back in the day, back in like the 40s and 50s, like the steel town kids and the coal miner kids, that was their way out.
It's a good point.
And in the last 30 years, the way out of the hood, the way out of poverty was to play professional athletes, Yep. Now we're to the point now where it's just like, are they hungry because they're getting paid so much money at younger ages? Are they hungry? And the answer is no. But you go to I mean, watch the 30 for 30 on some of those Yugoslavian teams and the Serbian teams. I'm serious. Like those guys used to come out, Drazen Petrovic, it's those guys, and Tony Kukoc.
Tony Kukoc, I was about to say that.
Grew up with like in communists.
Yeah, they're like they grew up like missiles flying around their house.
So you think those guys enjoyed? Vlade Divac said when he came to America, he could not believe. I used to go to a store every day to see what they had that I could buy. And then I go to a store in America, and it's like, what do I want to buy? Because I could buy anything I want. And he's like, some days you have no food in the supermarket. Some days you have no food, no clothes in the clothing market. And he's like, it just depends on what was going on. And now and then that was his biggest awakening, was go to America and say, what do I want to buy versus what do I need to buy this? That's so amazing. I mean, the Europeans are much hungrier in the NBA world, and they play a better game than we do. They don't play a one-on-one basketball. They still play a fundamentally tough team game, and of course, coaches want that. I mean, every coach would want LeBron James. There's no doubt about it. But I mean, if you have 5 or 6 guys that play a fundamentally sound game, pick and rolls and shooting, and it's tough for American kids to understand this, but we feel to shoot 3-pointers. We should be able to drive to the basket, not dunk the ball, and then they used to play defense, and it's a different game over here than it is in Europe. So you're going to see that. But I do not think physically these Europeans and Eastern Europeans, maybe if they get into it, I know Germany is big in the World League, but they've been trying that for 30+ years, man.
Yeah, well, it's like the equipment and stuff. It's so much easier if you just have a ball. Yeah. If you just have a ball and a hoop, you can start to get. Absolutely. But to go to football in somewhere that doesn't play football, that's why it's not happening.
You're getting an Uncle Angry Goon here right now. Why do you think we're starting this flag football crap in the NFL? Why do you think flag football is going to be a sport in the Olympics coming soon? Because all you're doing is buying flags for kids in a football. It's just like back in the day when you could play basketball, just roll basketball out, put some basketball shoes on, and go play hoops.
Yeah, less CTE too, so that's good.
I know. I saw Harold Carmichael from the Eagles from the 80s. Yeah. He's suffering from dementia. He has no idea. It's so sad. Well, you're going to see so many more guys that are older than me. I don't know. Me and you always kid around about it because you were the pudding brain and all that stuff. Are you worried about that? To be honest with you, you had 5 concussions diagnosed?
Yeah, 5. Yeah,
that's diagnosed. How many do you think you had?
Probably double digits.
They say every time your bells are ringing in your head, that's a concussion. I'm like, oh God.
Oh God.
I'm like, really?
Okay, let me change my number.
Yeah, I need to change that number real. Are we talking about on the field ringing or post?
Yeah.
My head used to ring a lot.
I don't know. I do think about it. I'm like, when I get
I wasn't insulting you. I'm just saying that. Do you fear that? Because there is an issue, obviously, that they are protecting guys much more now. Back in the day, I had guys that I played with who had to retire from. Did you ever have a grade 3, or were they all minors?
No, the last. No, all of them are pretty minor except the last one. That was the one that was just really, really rough. But yeah,
you couldn't sit in the dark type of thing, room spinning.
Oh yeah. For a while,
that, dude.
Yeah, it was a rough one. But yeah, I definitely think about it. And that was part of the reason why I could have went back and played more.
Sure.
But I was I had seen it. I had seen guys talking to walls, and you look at Brett Favre now is having a lot of problems. Talk about someone that has just been beaten over the head with just injuries. He was playing until he was 40, and that's difficult. So you got to be careful because you can, because that's what's happening. Guys are getting Parkinson's, guys are getting dementia, all that stuff really early that played ball for in that age because concussions weren't really. Were they even really a thing for you guys?
Yeah, we had guys had to retire from them. For sure.
Guys would come out of games and stuff for concussions.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Not the concussion protocols they have now. Not even close.
Right.
None of that stuff. So let's grab a break here, brother.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I was getting
looking for the wall up here for the clock.
I know.
We moved over here. By the way, if anybody wants to come out and play, the simulators are up now. The golf simulators are up. I'm
actually taking golf lessons starting Thursday here at the.
Enough for you.
Yeah, I might hit it. I was in here. We'll go to break in a second, but I was in here with Sarah, my fiance, who's a golfer, and she was just kicking my butt, and I had guys drinking at the bar making fun of me while my fiance kicked my butt in simulator golf. They're like, you're losing to her, right? That's what I heard. Wow. I was like,
my how the mighty have fallen.
Exactly. Well, we will be right back with the Modelo Blue White Player Show here at the Penn State Golf Course.
This region is known for its winding forest roads and scenic wild beauty. And there's one vehicle that's as rugged as Happy Valley. It's the Kia Telluride from Lion Country Kia. Hurry in now and check out the all-around rugged 2025 Tellurides. Lion Country Kia has the spacious 7-seater SUV with as low as 2.99% financing for 60 months or a $1,500 Kia finance rebate. There's 19 Tellurides in stock ready to go, starting at only $43,145. Be sure to check out the entire Kia lineup at Lion Country Kia. There's 91 new Kias available. Remember, every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Who trusts Lion Country Kia? Mitchell Messenbrink trusts Lion Country Kia. And you should too. Lion Country Kia. 1334 Dravova Street, off Shiloh Road, behind Sam's Club, State College. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. For details, see dealer or go to kia.com.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA, signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
I'm the Modelo recruiter, and I'm looking for fans with good hands and great speed. The ones who stay focused and never miss a play. They go the distance on game day, even when their team is away. I'm always watching, always looking to reward more full-time fans. Because football isn't really football without you.
Lusk & Associates Sotheby's International Realty proudly presents the introduction of our new State College office at 314 South Borough Street in State College. At Sotheby's International Realty, we advertise locally, nationally, and internationally, bringing the best of advertising and promotion to each and every one of our properties, big or small. Call now.
A lot has changed about State College. One thing that hasn't is W.C. Clark's Coffee Roasters on 234 East Calder Way. 30 different varieties of specialty coffee beans sourced from over 25 countries and roasted with love each morning in Happy Valley for over 45 years. They'll ship their fresh roasted coffee from their doorstep to yours. Order online at statecollegecoffee.com. That's statecollegecoffee.com.
Hi, welcome to Timberland Federal Credit Union, a financial cooperative for its members, tracing all the way back to 1973.
Experience Timberland Federal Credit Union, where you're greeted with a smile and financial solutions are tailored to your unique life journey. Here, we're not just financial professionals, we're your neighbors, people invested in your financial needs, literacy, and empowerment. Your dreams matter to us, whether they're about buying a home, growing a nest egg, or embarking on new adventures. TFCU draws from the past and invests in the future, offering modern tools like online banking to give you the freedom to manage your money practically anytime. Additionally, we're passionate about giving back both time and resources because enhancing our community is at the core of why we're here. Visit TFCU in person or online to learn more about our services and apply for a membership today.
WFXX, once again,
The Fox,
your sports radio.
Broadcasting live, loud and proud from Central PA's Sports Authority, WFXS America.
98.7 The Fox, State College, The Goon, and Ironhead.
Almost the Ironhead.
Almost the Ironhead. I might as well have an Ironhead at this
lead
point.
in right there with that last segment, how it ended.
That was great. We come back with the Ironhead, and I wish I had an Ironhead. Maybe I'd still be playing, but here we sit. I think there's some guys. I think that I'm sure there's some guys exist that they just can't get concussions because they're just like their skull maybe is that thick. That's got to be a thing for at least some guys. There's just some people I feel like wouldn't get like an Abdul Carter and Micah Parsons. I feel like they're just their necks are so. That's a big thing actually. We do a ton of neck work to strengthen our necks because the studies show if you have a really strong neck, it's a lot harder to have that like whiplash and it basically holds up your head more.
Lashes the
boom. That's when you see when you see
the brain hits the back of the skull. Oh, that's what's going on.
Yeah, when you see the quarterback get tackled,
we were like neck roll you, dude. we were all necked up back in the day. I mean, you ever see that story about the guy on Instagram talking about the '85 Penn State team in the Orange Bowl?
No.
And they're like, this dude's the quarterback. John Taylor's got like a 23-inch neck, and you're like, how's this guy the quarterback? What's going on here? And everybody's like, over these massive necks. Yeah, you're right. I mean, we definitely had we really, really big on the neck stuff and the upper body stuff to prevent all that stuff. And then the helmets you guys wear. I mean, this is really turning into a weird show right now.
This is an interesting one.
But it's turning into an
Enjoyed
odd one.
it.
But, like, I am convinced. So, like, next time you're up in the football Letterman's Lounge and they have all the different helmets from the generations, pick them up. Pick up the mid-'80s ones. It was Bobby White's helmet. I bet you the thing's 12, 15 pounds, maybe 20 pounds. The mask on it alone is 10 pounds. The mask.
Oh.
And then there was that big block cage that they had and stuff like that. It was dark gray. It was really thick. It was so heavy, and their helmets were separate. There was the Riddell helmets that you pump full of air, and then those helmets, I'm not lying because my older brother had one. I mean, those guys in the mid-'80s, they were like weapons, dude. Like, even not just here. I'm not just saying Penn State. I mean, everywhere. And then when I came back in 2005, I always say this because they were wearing the Schutt helmets then, and they all look like the little Martian with the huge head. Like, you know, that's what some of the players look like nowadays with these huge helmets, but they're all padding and stuff. But if that prevents, then yes, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that when I was playing, before I was playing to when I came back in 2005, like the weight of the equipment is much lighter, so the players are faster, but the plastics are harder. So you're actually a missile coming at somebody sometimes. Like, you could be so fast, and the plastics you're wearing on your helmets and your shoulder pads, where you don't feel anything, you were just lighting people up back in the day. So have you noticed that since, like, the NFL and then college has gone to the targeting calls and stuff like that, guys get kicked out of games, you do not see those, like, stupid, crazy, like, oh my God. And when you do, you're like, oh, my God. And it's like going to be a 15-yard personal. The guys kicked out of the game. So they are getting rid of that a lot. And I am seeing finally, not with Penn State, but a lot of other teams, is actually you are starting to see the hit and wrap it up again.
Yeah.
Like, there was a 10-year, 15-year period where this was a tackle, when just hitting somebody and knocking them down or just cutting their legs out. Now I saw a tackle the other day where a guy ripped, like, got in, wrapped his arms, rolled his hips through, and tackled a person. And I was like, well, that's how it's supposed to be done. But, you know.
That's how they teach it. Well, thinking back, dude, you remember Pee Wee football? I mean, the type of hitting drills? I don't know what you guys did, but I mean, I can't imagine.
I love the Oklahoma drills. You ever see the ones where they have the little kids and their moms doing it? You ever see that one?
Yes.
Like the last day of practice, moms come out there.
And the mom, sometimes they'll, like, smoke them. They'll be like, boom, and their little kid goes flying. I'm like, holy crap.
And then you have, like, the one dad who's really into it, and you're like, Pops, come on, man.
Just takes his kid out.
Oh, my goodness. Like, yeah, he's not playing next week.
Yeah. Dude, they used to do did you ever do Bull in the Ring, though?
Yeah.
That was so –
that was a pregame warm-up for Penn State defensive backs. I'm not lying to you.
That's insane. So for those that don't know, the Bull in the Ring was you just got in the middle, and there was just a circle of your team. You're chopping your feet, and they send someone, and you don't know where he's coming from. You might be looking this way. He's coming from your backside and just – I mean, the stuff we used to do.
There and the coach will go like, it's almost like you're sitting there and you're rotating around like a clock. And the coach will say, Jimmy. And Jimmy from behind goes, you better turn around quick enough to get him because he's going to knock your lights out. And I was like, okay. Then Jimmy gets in the ring, and then it's his turn, and he gets pummeled by Jamal, and Jamal gets pummeled by Pete. And Pete gets beat up by Joey, and it's just a vicious cycle. But that's pregame warm-ups. That's how we're going to warm up for the game.
No. That's absolutely insane.
Senseless, but it just goes back to, like, a lot of the times, like, when youth guys are coaches, parents, fathers, whoever, they usually don't have an idea of what to do. This is what we used to do back in the day. So
yeah. What did you guys get? We go old school, new school. This was making me think. You said pregame, so I was thinking about the snacks that we have pregame and at halftime. So you come in, you got the little bite muffins, you got applesauce, you got everything you could want. You get the not the equipment, the nutritionists. They take the day before and they get the Hawaiian rolls, and they'll put cheese and ham in them. So you got Hawaiian rolls, and the best part is the players that when you're actually, like, playing, you don't want to eat food. So it's all the backups and, like, the young guys that aren't going to play. And they're just, because I remember at the Rose Bowl, we were a bunch of us, Dawkins, Fashanu, me, a couple of my roommates, we were all injured. We were out for the year. And we were having a competition at halftime who could eat more Little Bite muffins. Because, they come 4 in a pack. I think Dawkins put 7 packs away. I mean, that's what, 28 muffins, Little Bites?
Muffins.
Yeah, the little muffins.
Did he make it to the end of the game without?
He might have had to go back in the tunnel,
Yeah, he may have snuck back in there like, hey, I got a press pass. I got to go.
That was, by the way, I mean, this is already a weird show. It was the craziest thing we win the Rose Bowl in 2023. It was January. And I remember going in the locker room and guys, now everybody gets on their phone. And so we take the photos and everybody, we're celebrating. And that was when DeMar Hamlin, the Bills player, that was the same time when that happened.
Right.
And it was like the craziest thing because it was like that was first time that someone technically died for a little bit on the field.
Twice.
2 times. That was so crazy. It was just weird. We're in there like celebrating. It's not like any of us knew him, but it was just like, oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah,
Excited
you were
to
in
share
the locker
that.
room at the game. Because I remember leaving, watching the game at a bar at the Lube, and leaving and going home and getting ready to watch that game. And because it was a huge game.
Yeah, it was Chiefs. Yeah,
and
Chiefs
then
Bills.
like, what's going on here? And then like the players, you don't see the players for both teams surrounding. And then the ambulance comes out. But then the way those guys were acting with the crying and stuff like that, you knew something was really, really, really bad. And then
weird.
Yeah. So let's get back to your horrors divorce halftime spread at the freaking Rose Bowl here. We got oranges.
Orange slices, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's gotten a lot better.
We're in 3rd grade.
Well, what we get now, it would have been illegal.
My mom was in charge of getting the orange slices, and she got apples. Come on, man. Are you serious?
I'm serious. And
the ham and cheese on the Hawaiian
roll.
Dude, I would have eaten 8 of them.
I know, it's so good. And there's so many more snacks. Oh, you know what I do? There is so many Rice Krispies. And I would take, especially when I wasn't playing it, when I was a true freshman, I would take 8 Rice Krispies and put them in my bag at halftime. And because when you come in after the game, it's all gone. So you've got to maximize at halftime. And I would stuff my bag full of Rice Krispie treats. And I'd be so happy afterwards. It was like, I'm so happy I did that. I'm going to go home and I'm going to watch, the night games in college football and have just all my Rice Krispie treats. So yeah, if they did any of that now, I mean, if they did that back then, you guys would have
packaged up a bunch of orange slices and they got squeezed up in my shower kit that I had,
And then let me add to this: on the way out, they always get us a nice meal. We get a whole box of pizza, or they'll give you just some really good food to send you on your way after the game. I mean, what a different time, Goon.
Yeah, they wound us up and said, go out in the parking lot and beg for food. That's what they did for us. And you went, ooh, they felt like more porridge. It was so bad. That's unbelievable. I mean, what was the one? There was the Hard Knocks the one time they were following one of the teams and one of our players was on there. He's like, it may have been Micah talking about the Gatorade like squirts and you had the little nutritionist during practice who would squeeze the gelatin is in your mouth and the little Jello cubes and all.
Yep.
You guys okay?
Yeah, that's the thing.
You guys okay? I want you guys cramping up.
They come around at practice. They do.
We had Pepsis for breaking back in the day. Okay, we had Pepsi.
There's a Coke, right? It wasn't a Coke back then
for the first time.
Okay.
And even my last 4 years, Joe still did not comprehend that. Yeah, get a Coke break. It was always Pepsi, but he always used to say Coke. Get a Coke break.
Get a Coke. Yeah,
that was not a lie.
I wonder.
So,
we
we really got spoiled when it was a really cold game and they made
some you got some hot cider or something.
Bouillon in the locker room for us. That was great.
Well, you'll be having
they really spiced us up then.
They still do that. You get options though. You can get hot chocolate. You get options.
You got options.
You get options. You get the hot chocolate. You get the hot cider. You do get the chicken broth, things like that. So it's a different time. I do wonder, like back in the day, Rip Engel. I'd love to interview him. That's the one person. If it's like dead or alive person, I would like to talk to him. Do you think they ever did like smoke breaks? Like we're talking Coke breaks, like back in the 50s. I'm being serious. Hey, guys were
players.
Maybe
like at halftime, like hey, you guys got to smoke them if you got them. Let's go.
Smoke them if you got them. Exactly.
I gotta go. Where's Paterno at? He's got a Paul Mall filter that's in his mouth right now.
I think that might have been a thing. I don't know.
Professionally, yeah. I mean, there's pictures of Lenny Dawson from the Chiefs at the Super Bowl. He's got a Fresca in one hand and a cigarette, and it's halftime of the game.
He probably played better. Loosen up a little bit.
There's definitely baseball players, even in the 80s and 90s. I mean, Jim Leyland was a manager who's smoking in the dugouts, even into the 2000s. Yeah,
seriously.
Well, McDaniel from the Dolphins.
Yeah, he got
caught vaping on the sideline.
It's a different time.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What a time we live in. How did we get here? I think this all started when I was telling my story about Georgia, about me going to Georgia. I never got to
when
finish
Hans
that.
and Franz worked you out.
When Hans and Franz. So if anybody that wasn't listening, 2018, 17, I went to Georgia for a visit. And yes, Hans and Franz, they brought these European players that were on a visit as well. And so I was working out for Kirby Smart, and there was this old man that come down because we were talking about NIL. This is how this all started. And I was talking to him, and I talked. There's a couple players around, and I'm like, so who's that guy? And they said, that's Granddad. And so Granddad, I was told, if you need anything, you go to Granddad. And so he was the granddad for everybody at Georgia. And I think Granddad had a lot of money. Let's put it that way. So
yeah, it works.
Yeah. So, in a little poker chip, flip you a poker chip there. Here you go. Have a fun weekend. So, yeah, I didn't get to finish my story, but that was the end of that.
I was just getting a message from our guest who can't make it tonight. But when you said you're talking about Hans and Franz, you started talking about his grandfather. I was like, oh, God, what are we talking about here, dude? What was Pop doing, dude? Come on now. Holy crap.
Hey, it's worked out well for him, I guess. I don't know. I don't know where
yeah,
Hans and
so
Franz
that's crazy.
are.
But, yeah, they could not even, height and weight you. The only time that you were allowed to see a kid working out ever was for a camp, that they had to come in for a camp. And guys did obviously come in for camps and stuff like that. I didn't go to camp, so they never had any measurables on me and stuff like that. But dude, that's crazy that you could actually. Do they dress you up in their
no pads? They don't. You can't do pads.
But they have Georgia gear on you.
Yeah.
You kept it and all. Oh, that's where you get the gloves.
Yeah. Well, yeah, sometimes. So you don't always do a workout when you go places, but if it's one of those things where I'm a Northeast guy and I went down to Clemson in Georgia. They're like, we're only really going to see you once, and you're not going to come to another camp. So, let's work you out while you're here. I want to see what you got.
Hey, who was the big white D tackle from the D.C. area went to Clemson?
Brian Breezy.
Where's he balling now?
Dude, the Saints. He's balling out. Yeah. He's doing real well.
I remember watching him. He's a couple years older than you, right?
Yeah, he was one class year older than me. Yeah, one class. I remember seeing him. He was an animal.
Yeah, he was.
He was number one player in the nation.
Absolutely. I remember watching his film. That's crazy. I remember watching film on somebody like that in a high school kid. Not as much as you.
No, it's a different time.
Everybody know the story of how I met Landon?
How'd we meet him?
I got a phone call from Mark Brennan, and he says, dude, you need to come down to camp. This is football camp. He goes, there's an 8th grader kicking the living out of 4-star recruits. So I go down there, and I look at everybody. There's this little shaved head, white little kid. And he's like, that's the kid right there. I'm like, you don't look 14 years old, but
I didn't have any.
You were a big boy.
No facial hair yet.
Oh, yeah, you hadn't hit the P word yet. You were like, hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. Hi. I like Penn State. You were working dudes, though.
I had a good time. Dude, right then I knew I was coming to Penn State. I freaking loved it. I was like, this is – and it was summer up here. It was still May. It was May. And you know how it is in May.
The sun was still up till past 5 o'clock.
Past 3:45 p.m. the sun was still.
It was so funny watching to get ready to watch this show. Everybody's coming through the doors. Each person's more and more miserable because it's darker and colder for each person to come through the doors.
Hey, that's the bad part. I mean, not right now, not in November, but when we get to January and February, you don't see the sun. You don't see the sun for 60 days here.
And I told Landon, I said, one of the things that I had when I was in the weight room, and that was we go to work at 4:30 in the morning, get up at 4:30 in the morning, and have our first group at, they'd be in and working out 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning, and I'd go in and it'd be dark. And I'd work throughout the day, and the light be outside, and then I go home at 7 o'clock at night, and then it'd be pitch black. And
that's something I don't miss. The winter workouts. You're getting up. You're setting your alarm for about 4:15.
But they're done though.
There is no better feeling after a winter workout. Well, nowadays, it's not as good because you have your winter workout in the morning, and you think, oh, I get to do classes, and then you're done. Well, nowadays you do that, and after classes, we're gonna come back for more skill work, and then we're gonna go into the film room, and and then we're gonna do this.
I've been telling you for 3 years now. This is how guys burn out.
Right.
It's completely why guys burn out. Like I told you, I said I don't like the fact that cafeteria is in the building now. It's like guys don't have to leave the building.
No, there's no reason
you need to go out. This is where it all started. We were talking about our kids getting the same college experience that me and you, that I had, or even you had, and the answer is probably no.
No, it's changed a lot.
I mean, there's a guy, you lose 6 games in a row. I mean, you got to walk down to the campus, and you got people looking at you like, oh, Come on now. But it's also they're also your student, your co-students, and they're like, come on, good luck this week,
I had
go both ways.
Absolutely. I had I'm drawing a blank. Not Todd Blackledge, 85 quarterback.
John Schaefer.
I had him on my podcast. Yeah. And he told me after the 85, he was like, I had business owners telling me to kick rocks. They're like, you're effing loser, Schaefer.
Yeah.
I'm like, he said that's what it was like walking downtown. And I'm like, oh, boy.
Well, that was a classic example of who's the most popular kid on the team. Always the backup quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Everybody wants the backup.
Everyone wants the backup because it's like, and then the backup goes in and like, he stinks too.
Yeah. It's like, shocker.
Somebody else back.
No, it is that. It's unless the quarterback's balling out, everybody wants the backup. That is how it goes. Well, Goon, here we sit.
Yep. We do have a nice information. I got my man next week, Levi Haynes, on next Monday night.
Levi Haynes joining us.
One or two more shows of this left. I think we got 3 games left here. So how do you think we're going to end up the season here, buddy? We gonna go. We gonna pop out 3.
Yeah, let's go. Let's say we're gonna
Sparty, Nebraska,
Rutgers.
We
can't. Let me just say this. The other games, like I want to win those. We have to beat Rutgers when we go to Piscataway. We have to find a way. We cannot let still Shiano, right? Yeah, we cannot let Shiano get that win because they're going to be fired up for that one. Sure. And I'm going to be honest. I'm not saying this how anybody else is going to feel, but as a player, if I was in the situation, that Rutgers game, I would be counting down that clock for it to finish so that season can just be done and I can go home. That'd be how I would think.
Let's see the question. Do you think our guys want to go to a bowl game?
Oh God, do they want to go? No. 25 extra days of this just disastrous season. I don't know about that one, but it depends. You might not have an option. So like if there is if you don't want to do it and there's another Big Ten team that can go, then you can opt out if you're a team and say no. But if there's no like available Big Ten teams to go, you're forced to go. So like Penn State might not, if they win these last 3 games.
Yeah, but I'm okay if 30 guys want to opt out, get the hell out, go.
Yeah.
Why am I going out there with 60 or 70 guys that we can rock?
That's true.
Am I getting Gronk 15 more practices?
Last Gronk, yeah. Last logistical piece of this that's interesting is, so once you get a new head coach now, like players right now on the Penn State team, they can't enter the transfer portal. But if we hire a head coach tonight, 5 days from now, our guys can enter the portal if they want. So what's interesting, if you hire a coach on November 30th, day after we play Rutgers, final game of the season, 5 days later, whatever that Friday, guys can enter the portal. So I don't know. Would you question if James Franklin already finds a home and some guys are following him and that's going on?
Fully expect it to happen.
Could we field a whole like a full squad to go to a bowl game? I just don't know. I don't know. That'd be tough. I just think this has been really hard on everybody. It's very similar to kind of how the 2020 season felt of just, oh my gosh, get me to the end of this thing. And so I just think it would be rough to extend this thing almost 30 days. That's what I'm saying. It would be a lot, but I don't know. Maybe it'd be something fun to do. You get to go down to Florida or something, unless we go to the Game Above Bowl in Detroit, Michigan, and we get snow for Christmas. Then that's not as fun anymore. Good.
Oh, buddy.
Good.
See you next week. Levi Haynes on next week.
Yep.
Great wrestler here at Penn State. Good kid.
That's all we got left, man. Wrestlers.
We got the women's soccer players and women's volleyball players. They all loved it.
No.
Everybody loves to come on.
No, everybody. I'm saying this. I'm saying everybody loves this. I'm saying all we got left as fans is like Penn State wrestling. Like that's all we got.
We'll always have Penn State fans, man. So
no. We got everything. We got everything.
Thank you, guys. We'll talk to you guys next week.
This region is known for its winding forest roads and scenic wild beauty. And there's one vehicle that's as rugged as Happy Valley. It's the Kia Telluride from Lion Country Kia. Hurry in now and check out the all-around rugged 2025 Tellurides. Lion Country Kia has the spacious 7-seater SUV with as low as 2.99% financing for 60 months or a $1,500 Kia finance rebate. There's 19 Tellurides in stock ready to go, starting at only $43,145. Be sure to check out the entire Kia lineup at Lion Country Kia. There's 91 new Kias available. Remember, every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty warranty. Who trusts Lion Country Kia?
Mitchell Messenbrink trusts Lion Country Kia.
And you should too. Lion Country Kia. 1334 Dravilla Street off Shiloh Road behind Sam's Club, State College.
Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. For details, see dealer or go to kia.com.
If you love wings, if you love rings, and all kinds of other tempting things, great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
Get our Best Wings USA signature sauces, mouth-watering appetizers, or any of our delicious award-winning lube favorites.
Great times, great food, get to Quaker Steak and Lube.
I'm the Modelo recruiter.